Hello, Cheyenne here, and I've got another story time for you all. This story is a bit more personal, and it goes back to whenever I lived with my mother. Anyone who knows me personally knows the stories about my mom are so crazy, so let's get right into it. This specific story takes place around the same time as COVID, so I moved out of my dad's my freshman year and moved in with my mom because of some family problems, and she was doing really good. She was really sober. She was doing really good. She had cut off all her friends who were not sober and such. And then she met this man. We're not going to name names, but she met him while he was in prison. When I tell y'all, I learned that collect call by heart. I did, and I still know it because I was 16 and my sister was 12, and we were sitting there while she was on the phone. She was like, "Hey, talk to him, say hello, get to know him. He's going to be living with us when he gets out." Huh? I did not know this man. He wrote us birthday cards and all kinds of stuff, which was, sweet and all. But mind you, I'm 15 and 12-year-old talking to some prison man that they've never met in their lives. Like, that's crazy. Anyways, he gets out. She was doing good. She was hitting about 2 years sober at this point. He gets out of prison, and that's when it all starts going downhill, like, really bad. So when he gets out, he comes and lives with us like she told me he would be doing, right? So he comes and he lives with us, and things were great the first like month he was there. Only a month. We all got along, it was great. They were home a lot and she was going to work. About month 2 hits. She starts slowly missing work more and more, and eventually by the end of that month they fired her. Instead of spending her time at work, she would spend her time with him at either his friends' houses or gambling joints, being stupid, and leaving us kids at home. Like when we would come home from school, we'd be there by ourselves almost all night until late as fuck, and then they would get there. If they even got there that night. Some nights they wouldn't even come back. Mind you, my sister's 12 and I'm 15 at this time. Okay? I was 15 about to be 16. So it was around 15, 16 around that time. And it was very crazy. It was very hectic. She lost her job. She started gambling, and pretty sure this was also the time she started using again, as well as he was using, which got her into it. They also started summer hits. Okay, he's been there for 4 months at this point. Summer hits. They're fighting all the time. At one point, he even took her keys and her phone and her car. Like just drove off with all of it. And I woke up in the middle of them fighting about it. It was crazy. It was hectic. My sister, right? She ends up leaving to go stay with her boyfriend at this time. She did not want to be around any of this, and I did not blame her. But that left me alone to deal with that problem. So I was there by myself, sitting there dealing with all my mom's drama on top of like all the drama I had going on at the time. We're not getting into that. But it was very crazy. Well, it had been, like I said, a good month. Well, it had been 4 months since he had been living with us. It had been a good month where she had started using it and being gone. She came home one day, which I have this story time on my TikTok, I believe. She came home one day, picked a fight with me so she could have my phone because she pawned hers. So she took mine, right? And then she also took my school computer, my grandma's two TVs out of her house to go and pawn them. After she pawned all of my stuff that was important and expensive, and she pawned my grandma's expensive stuff that wasn't like jewelry or sentimental, like it was all electronics and shoes and clothes that she was getting rid of. Once she took all of that, she slowly stopped coming by the house. It took the apartment. She would be there for like a day and then be gone for 3 days, and then she'd be there for a day, be gone for a week, be there for a day, be gone for 2 weeks. She did that all summer until she eventually just didn't come back until one night she came back at like 10 o'clock and just grabbed all of her stuff. My grandma, mind you, was paying for this apartment we were staying at while she was living with someone else. So she found out my mom wasn't there taking care of us. So she was like, I'm gonna have to get rid of this apartment, girls. My sister had a place to go. I had a place to go, but I packed pretty much that whole place by myself. My grandma's stuff, my mom's stuff, my sister's stuff, my stuff at 16, as well as I helped everyone move out their stuff, their own stuff. Like I helped everyone move. I did all pretty much most of it. And then my mom, when she found out my grandma was getting rid of this place before I packed everything up, she showed up at like, I kid you not, I was like 10, 11, and just grabbed all her stuff, and I did not see her again for like 2 years. But before she packed all her stuff up, she gave me a hug and she was out being all sweet. And I just kind of pushed her off because like I haven't seen her in a month at this point when she had came by and got her stuff. I did have like some help whenever I was by myself in this apartment because like obviously I didn't have a way to get anywhere, go anywhere, have people, come over and hang out. So my brother, he came over at one point and his dad took me grocery shopping and I got food. And then once I ran out of all that, I was babysitting the people like in the apartment, how our apartments were. There was two houses in one building. People in my building, we like I babysat for them and they would make dinner every night and they had food stamps. They bought snacks specifically for me. Like they would ask what I wanted. And so I was eating there and I like was using their Wi-Fi on my computer to actually be able to get a hold of people because she took my phone and we didn't have Wi-Fi at the time. My grandma was getting rid of this place. She was shutting everything off. We didn't have anything. It was bad. It was very crazy. The washer and dryer had quit working, so I had to have my first love's mom take me to go get my laundry done, which that was great. I love her, still talk to her to this day. But that was awkward during that time because during that time, me and him had a lot of drama. I will not be getting into that, maybe in the future, but as of right now, it's not a topic I want to talk about. But we had a lot of drama, so it made things problematic for her, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, she didn't. She still doesn't feel bad about it. She was like, "I'm helping you. You don't have anyone here helping you. You need the help. Like, you're gonna come and sit and watch TV with me and eat and have a good night every night." So I did that, and it was fun. It was great. And then I go to move, and it was very crazy. It was very hectic. She just dipped randomly, started her drug addiction again when she was clean, all for a man who was in prison. She should have known. Should have known. Right then and there, him being in prison, red flag, red flag. And then, especially because they'd argue over the phone and then not talk for like a couple weeks. Like, how did you already not know? Like, how did you not know that was not going to be like problematic? You're already fighting over the phone. Obviously, you're not going to get along in person. And they fought a lot about little shit and not even important instead, like important stuff. Honestly, it was all always little stuff that I didn't even understand why they were fighting. It's like they were all just drugged up and being pissy. Probably what it was for real. And it was just a very crazy time. And a couple months later, found out I was pregnant. That story time's linked in my. It's on here. It's on my YouTube channel, so go check that out as well. But yeah, that's my crazy story time about my mom. I have more if y'all want to know about them. Just leave a comment below. Well, guys, that's all for today. That story time was kind of all over the place, and I'm sorry. I am not very good at telling stories from like the past because my timeline is a little messed up, but I told it as best as I could, and I hope you liked it. If you have any more questions or comments, just leave them below, and I will do a Q&A in a couple weeks answering all the questions off of all my videos. So I hope you guys have a lovely day. Goodbye.